Once upon a time, I was dating this guy. This is years ago, but I was dating this guy, and I think I was still in beauty school, but in any case, I was dating this guy, and he was like, I remember one time he was like, I can't believe I'm dating a hairdresser. And it's like, what's that supposed to mean? Okay, I love what I do for a living. I take pride in what I do for a living, and I'm great at what I do for a living. Don't try to make me feel low just because you know I'm bomb.
Welcome to the TheFallenState. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. It is Valentine's Day, so we're going to be talking about that. I have with me Brittney Gray. She is a YouTube hair, beauty, and advice guru. Brittney, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So you woke up one day and decided, I want to help women. And what made you start your YouTube channel and dealing with the issues that you deal with?
Well, it started off because I was in beauty school at the time, and then there was this whole beauty community growing on YouTube. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm actually going to school for this. I know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to start my own channel. And then from there, I started to make kind of advice videos and that kind of thing, and people were receptive to those, so then I continued to do that as well.
Are you surprised to get the kind of reaction you get? That people would be interested, they want advice?
Yeah, and I get some negative reactions as well, but...
How do you feel about the negative?
It's a part of life. You're not going to agree with everything that everybody says, and most people, especially nowadays, a lot of people can't handle that.
Right.
But I don't think that I'm that offensive, but some people do, but I don't care. You could have been bald, you could have been permanently bald, and putting bleach on your hair is not a chance I'm willing to take. Furthermore, you're not getting a refund because I performed a service, I spent 5 hours on your hair, I took time, I used product, and I need to be compensated for that. So I hope that with the next stylist that you find, at least let her know, or him, whatever, that you had a metallic salt reaction so that way they know what to do. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay?
So I saw on one of your YouTubes that you got engaged. Mm-hmm. What made you decide to say yes to this man?
Well, because we were together long enough, and also because when I met him, I just felt that I was going to marry him.
Oh,
and
really?
So, yeah.
When you first met him?
Yes.
And what was about him that caused you to feel that way?
He was a leader. He's very masculine. Like, I feel like he's somebody who could lead me and teach me and be the head of me and my household. And because I'm such a type A personality, I wanted somebody I didn't want to wear the pants, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And a type A personality is what?
I would say I'm a leader and opinionated. I think for myself, just a natural born leader, I guess.
So the men that you've dealt with in the past, you led them?
Some of them. Yeah, most of them.
So what did it feel like to be leading those guys? When they allowed you to lead them, what were you going through? What were you thinking? How did you feel about that?
It was a turnoff because I was initially attracted to them because of superficial things, maybe.
Right.
But then as time progressed, I just felt like I had to be in control of everything, or I was maybe the responsible one, or I don't know, just better at a lot of things, more rational, right, all that kind of stuff. So then it started to become a turnoff, and then I didn't respect them anymore.
Yeah.
And then once you don't respect somebody, well, for me at least, like as a woman respecting a man, then it's over. It's just over. Yeah.
So did this guy, your fiance, are you married yet?
No, I'm not married yet.
Not yet. When is the wedding?
In July.
Of this year?
Yes.
Wow, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So did he get on his knees and propose to you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you surprised when he did that?
No. I could kind of sense that day that he was gonna do, because I could kind of sense that he was gonna propose, just because when I saw him that day and he was like, oh, it's gonna be a surprise, he had a look on his face I had never seen before.
You saw rings in his eyes?
I saw like nervousness.
Oh, I see. Like something was up, huh?
Yeah, and so.
Do you think men should get on their knees to propose to a woman?
Whatever your preference is, you don't have to. It would be my preference just because it's traditional.
It sounds like a bad start, you know, because he's getting on his knees, he's putting her on a pedestal.
Yeah.
That's a bad beginning.
Why do you think that?
Because it's weakness to bow down to another person.
But it's only one time. But see,
that's all it takes.
But that's the thing, you're showing your vulnerability for one moment ever in your life that you're ever gonna have to get on your knees. That's the point, is to show like your vulnerability.
So you do see it as a weakness, right?
No, I don't see it as a
vulnerability
weakness.
in a man is weakness.
No, but you have to be soft sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
So here this guy's on his knees. Is he a black guy?
Yes.
He's black. So here's this guy on his knees, you're standing up looking down, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna control him.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh, what were you thinking? He's worshiping me?
No, that's not what I was thinking. I was just thinking, oh, he's gonna propose to me. I didn't think that deeply about that part, yeah.
So what do you have planned for Valentine's today?
I don't know yet, it's gonna be a surprise, so.
What does Valentine mean to you and the women that you know?
I mean, to me, I don't really care that much about Valentine's Day, to be honest, but I guess it's one day a year, one day out of the year that you can, I guess, show your love by buying stuff.
Flowers and candy.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think men care anything about Valentine. It doesn't mean one iota of a thing to a man.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they just go along with it to, you know, satisfy.
Yeah, so their girlfriend or their wife doesn't get mad.
Yeah. Would you get mad if your fiance totally ignored Valentine, didn't say happy Valentine's to you, or brought candy or flowers, just as though it never happened? Would you become upset about that?
Probably, but I would be more upset if it was like my birthday. But Valentine's, yeah, I think I would be upset.
Why?
Because there's kind of like, do you know what FOMO is?
No.
Fear of missing out.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So I think I would have FOMO, where I feel like everybody's out, everybody's, you know, doing stuff with their significant other, but we're not doing anything. So then,
that's amazing. And so. And so do you think it means anything to men? I know it doesn't. Do you think it does mean?
Maybe like a small minority, but for the most part, I don't think men care. Yeah. It's just another holiday that they have to buy flowers and do all that kind of stuff.
Spend more money on the woman.
Yes.
Maybe to girly men, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think of girly men? And what is a girly man?
Somebody who just lets a woman walk all over them, or lets people, I guess, walk all over them. Yeah. What do I think about them? That it's kind of sad.
In what way?
Because it's pathetic. In a nutshell.
Would you ever tell a guy, if you were dating a guy and he was a girly man, would you say, you know what, you're pathetic? I'm not going to do it.
I probably wouldn't say that to his face.
Why
unless
not?
He asked me, or unless we were in an argument.
Why
because
not care enough to tell him?
Well, I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings and like crush their spirit.
But it's already crushed. That's why they became a girly man.
Yeah, that's true, because either they can get better from it, or else they can just go cry and then find the next girl to be.
Yeah, I noticed that women don't say that to men unless they get angry, but it would be nice for women to tell men how they really see them, because some of them would check themselves and grow from that. Some won't, but a whole lot will.
Yeah, I guess sometimes you don't want to hurt a man's ego.
Oh, you don't? So, are you in love with this guy you married?
Yes.
You're in love with him?
Yeah.
And have you been in love before?
I would say when I was younger, like maybe in high school, like that kind of age, like I thought that I was in love, but now I feel like there's different kinds of love. Like I guess you could say I've been infatuated before, but with this guy, when I met him, it was like a different kind of like feeling that I've never experienced before.
And so what is love?
That's a good question.
What is love?
Love is hard to explain because it's like a feeling.
It's like a feeling. And what is the feeling?
A feeling of, it's hard to put into words, but it's like a feeling like you care about this person and you respect this person. It's number one. Yeah.
Did I ask you what is it about this guy that caused you to fall in love and want to marry him, agree to marry him?
Yeah, just because I respect him. He's a leader.
When you say leader, meaning that you cannot control him?
See, the thing is, with women, you can control men, but you just have to not make it obvious that you're controlling them. That's the trick. But you can't let them know. You can't just come out and say like, no, you need to do this. You can't act like that.
And so women can control men without them realizing that they're being controlled.
Yeah.
And are you doing this with him?
No, I don't control him in a negative way.
You control him in a positive way?
Yes.
And does he know you're controlling him?
No. Well, I guess now he might know.
Are you, because he will see this, but can you give me like a small example or something you do that controls him and he doesn't realize you're controlling?
I wouldn't, see, when I hear the word control, I think of something negative, like you can't do something. I never stop him from doing anything that he wants to do. I never say no to him within reason, but then he doesn't want to do crazy things. Right. You know, but, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Give me an example of something you have done with him or already doing where you're controlling him, but he doesn't realize it.
Again, I wouldn't say control, but I kind of help guide him in a way through life. It's not control in a negative way. It's I guess control.
In your mind, is a positive. You mean for it to be positive?
Yeah, like I'll do certain things, I guess, to keep him on the right track and make him happy and keep him happy, so that way he can be the best version of himself. Okay, getting back to business, I am going to use my Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge for lips and cheeks, and I'm using the color in Milk Chocolate. And this is a beautiful cream blush / lip color stain or whatever. And then I'm just going to pounce that into my cheeks and give myself a natural glow, like I'm just blushing.
What do women want in a relationship?
Security, number one.
And define security.
Security, well, some women want, it depends. People look at love in different ways. Some people just want financial security. They don't care what you do outside of the home. They just want financial security, that kind of thing. But meaning security to me means, yes, I want you to be able to take care of your household. I feel like that's something that you should be able to do as a man. Not saying that I shouldn't have to work and I shouldn't have to provide anything, but I think that as a man, you should be a good provider, number one. Women want you to be faithful, loyal, respectful, and a leader.
I understand that women want men to be faithful. Why do they want it so badly? Why is that so important to them?
Because we're jealous.
You're jealous?
Yeah.
Of what?
We don't, when we love somebody or when we even like somebody, we don't want to imagine them with anybody else.
Yeah, I understand that. And a man should be faithful to his wife. He really should. What is a man? How would you how would you define a man?
Well, technically.
Yeah, we know.
I'm just kidding. No, a man is a leader. A man is, I guess a leader. That's the way I look at it.
When you say leader, mean he leads his wife?
He leads his wife and his kids and his family. He's a leader of the family.
Yeah. Are you okay being led by your fiance / once he become husband? Will you allow yourself to be led by him? Will you follow him? Mm-hmm. Will you obey him?
Yeah.
You will? Mm-hmm. You will obey him?
Yes. Yes.
So I like to ask 3 times. So last time, you will obey your fiance once he becomes your husband?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you back on the show if you don't.
Okay.
All right. Will he be the head of you?
Yeah.
Wow. Women don't like that at all. Why are you accepting that? Your husband as your head?
Well, I mean, I still have a say in things. I think that when people say when people hear your husband is the head of the household, they think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Well, not the head of the household, but he's the head of his wife.
Yeah. I think that they think that means control.
Right.
In a negative way, but I feel like, well, what do you really want to do that you should be, that's okay to be doing when you're married anyway?
That's right.
You know, so, and I don't think that, but see, I think that as a woman, you should marry somebody who also allows you to be yourself. So I'm not saying control meaning don't wear this, don't, you know, like just like small little things like that. But I think in making decisions and everything like that for the household, I think that the man should be the leader.
Amazing.
But the women also helps, you know?
But the man has the last word on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a video with you and your father. Mm-hmm. Have you always been close to him?
Yes.
And was he that type of example for you growing up with your mother?
Well, my parents are divorced.
Oh, I see.
But he remarried.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
That's awful when a man or a woman have children and they remarry. Kids don't like step-parents.
I love my stepmom.
You live with her?
No, I love my stepmom.
But you don't live with her, right?
No, I don't.
And you've never lived with her, right?
No, I lived with my mom and my brothers, and then on the weekends and during summer holidays, whatever, we would go to my dad's house.
So that's why you liked your stepmother. You didn't have to deal with her all week.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
But you grew up close to your father, and that gave you an idea how a man should treat a woman, and did that impact you in the type of man that you look for?
It did impact the type of man that I look for, but also I think with parents, when you get older, you do see them more as human, and so you can take things from your parents and say, you know, I do want this in a husband and I don't want this in a husband. So he kind of influenced, I love my dad, but like, I guess the things, I don't want to say the bad things about him, but you know, there are certain qualities about him that I wouldn't want, that I also wouldn't want in a husband. Yeah. So he taught me that as well.
Right on. How old were you when they divorced, your parents?
I don't even remember. I was probably 3 years old. I don't remember my parents ever being together.
So you are a millennial, right? Mm-hmm. What is the state of women, millennial women? What's their mindset? The way they see life, the way they see relationships, the way they deal with the issues of life?
Well, I think in terms of relationships, there are a lot of millennial women who I feel like are kind of lost, and they can't. A lot of women, I feel like they can't, for some reason, find a relationship or stay in a relationship or find a good man and that kind of thing.
Are they unhappy?
I think a lot of them are unhappy.
And do you know why?
I don't know why.
Any idea at all?
No, I don't know what went wrong.
I noticed that a lot of millennial men don't like millennial women because they're not marriage material. Mm-hmm. They seem to be just greedy, like they want material things, and they want you to just kind of, I don't know, worship them or something, and it's turning off a lot of millennial guys. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so what do you tell those type of women when you talk to them?
There's a couple things going wrong. I feel like women, it's not just a problem with women, it's also a problem with men in my age group too. I feel like a lot of men don't want to take women seriously, or they want to play games and do all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of women accept that, they don't accept the best of the best
When they call you for advice, or however they contact you for advice about men and dating, what do you normally say to them? What do they want to know, and what's your response to primary questions they ask you?
A lot of girls are like, what does this mean if a guy does this? What does this mean if a guy does that? And it's really plain. It's like either he likes you or he doesn't. And a lot of times they just don't really like you that much, or they like you and they like somebody else too, or they like somebody else more. You know, like there's, it's a mess. So my advice usually is just like, okay, delete his number and block him and don't talk to him and then move on. But people don't want to hear that.
Do you believe that men and women should be in during dating? Should they be in one relationship at a time, or should men and women date more than one person at the same time?
Sometimes relationships overlap. But then I feel like you get that trial period, because you can't necessarily, okay, if you're dating somebody, things aren't going that well, and then you just so happen to meet somebody the next day, right? And you like this person, are you supposed to just call this person, just like dump them that day?
Right.
What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, it's important to be honest and faithful. Mm-hmm. And so if you're dating someone and you're walking down the road and you meet someone else, you decide, wow, I'm going to date this guy. Or if it's a guy meeting a girl, you should let this person know, you know what, I met someone else today. It's better to get it over with rather than prolonging it, and now the person is going to think that you were cheating.
But what's the grace period? Is it like a 24-hour grace period of you meeting this person? Is it like a week-long grace period?
As soon as you know you're going to start dating.
Okay.
I met Louise today. And I'm sorry, I'm moving on.
Okay.
And that way, because women, it's easy for women not to trust men. And if a man can be that honest with her, it helps her to trust men even more so.
That's true. I'd rather somebody just tell me straight up, I don't like you, or I'm with somebody else, and then I know what to do.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of times when women are like, what's going on? What does it mean? What does it mean? I feel like the answer is always like, he has a girlfriend.
Yes.
Or he doesn't like you that much.
That's right.
And
if
somebody else
ask,
will.
what does it mean? It means that it's over.
Yeah,
Move
I agree.
on.
You know what? Every guy that you talk to, every guy that you meet, every guy you interact with, you're not gonna be everybody's freaking cup of tea. You have to work with what you got, okay, girl? Work with what you have. It has not been an easy road for me at all. I've been sad over guys. I've been dumped. I've been rejected. I've been cheated on. If he never calls again, life goes on, and he didn't like you anyway, so why would you even want to be with somebody who doesn't even like you? I would post pictures, but I kind of don't want to embarrass myself. Growing up, it was hard, okay? I was super skinny, I was small, I was scrawny, I was mixed, and I didn't know any other people who were mixed, and I used to get made fun of a lot and blah, blah, blah. And on top of that, I was poor. Like, somebody's probably gonna leave me a comment down below like, you're not that pretty, or you're ugly, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't care.
I wanted to ask you this. Once you get married and you start to have children, will you still work?
I want to, yeah.
And why?
Because I like having extra money, and I like shopping and stuff.
But you gotta,
and also because I don't want to give up on my career.
But how about the soul of the children? The kids gotta need you there.
Well, I have a very flexible schedule. I'm always gonna have my child with me. That's my plan. But
you gotta have more than one. I can hear now your husband wants at least 10.
No, he wants 2 max. I want 3.
So do you believe that men and women should wait until marriage before sex?
I think that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Do you advise women of that, to wait?
See, okay, the Christian side of me knows that you should wait, but then I guess the worldly side of me feels like you should test drive the car before you buy it.
Really? Yeah. And why?
Oh, God. Why do you test drive a car before you buy it?
No. You're the expert here. Why do you think you should test drive the car before buying it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's a good question. But you know what? Don't take my word for it.
What word?
That you should test? I think everybody should decide for themselves.
But you believe the right thing to do is to wait until marriage?
Yeah, I think that is like the best and healthiest thing for you to do.
And why do you believe that?
It's healthy for physical, medical reasons. One, is healthy for mental reasons too. Because if you're so, if you've just been in the world so much, then nothing is surprising to you. Nothing is, you can become numb. If you.
Right. That's right. And so when you say it's best to test drive the car before getting it, so women, when they have sex before marriage, they're testing the man? And what are they looking, what are they testing to find out?
I don't know, they're not testing. Maybe some do, but it's a figure of speech.
Right. But what does that mean, test drive?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
You do know.
It means you might, I don't think that women have sex because they're trying to test.
Right.
I think they just have sex because they want to.
But they are test driving.
Well, sometimes a woman could have sex with somebody and it doesn't even mean they would even consider marrying that person. Maybe they just want to have sex with him.
And so when they're testing, though, what are they looking for? So when you drive.
So when you do decide that, like, oh, I'm testing, I want to see what he's working with.
So they are looking to see the body parts. If they
maybe I don't know, or maybe.
Have you ever test driven?
No, of course not.
You've never.
Never.
Never test driven. Have women told you that they did? I had to test drive before I married him.
Yeah, women have told me that, like, not test drive before they marry, but just test to see if they even want to go forward in their relationship.
And so, did they tell you
what the results were?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what are some of the results that they tell you?
I mean, I don't want to get into graphic detail.
No, don't go graphic.
But women do talk with their girlfriends about sex. When you have sex with a girl, that girl will probably talk to her friends about it. Oh, okay. Some do, not all, but.
Is that a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea. But sometimes, for me as a friend, sometimes I'm just nosy and I want to know. But then a lot of times I don't, to be honest.
And so, does the man realize that he's been tested? Do they go back and tell you know what? It was just a test drive. It didn't work out.
Does a woman tell the guy that?
Yeah, I don't want to buy it. The body parts are not right.
I've known some girls to say, like, no, I can't do this.
Really? Mm-hmm. But they don't tell them why.
And I don't know. It's an individual thing.
Is sex love?
No.
Okay. But so it shouldn't even be a big deal at all, right? It shouldn't have anything to do.
No, it's not a big deal. I think there are because you can't just marry somebody just because the sex is good or you're sexually attracted to them, because that doesn't last. It doesn't last at all. Right.
And plus, when men have sex with women before marriage, they don't see it in the same way the woman sees it. Mm-hmm. It's just, for a man, it's just sex. Mm-hmm. But a woman it awaken, and some men too, but it tends to awaken her emotions. Mm-hmm. And now she feels like she's in love, she really want to be with this guy. But with most guys, it's just sex. It doesn't mean a thing. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
And what do you think about that?
It's just the way that we're built, I guess.
Do you tell other women that they should hold off because that's how men sees it?
Yes.
And so you recommend, so when women ask you about this, your Christian side says no, and your worldly side says test drive.
No, I don't ever tell, I never tell a woman to have sex with somebody, because I don't think I never say, yeah, you should have sex with him. I don't ever say that, because what's the point of that? All I'm saying is that sometimes in life, people have sex.
Do you recommend that they don't? Do you recommend to women that they don't?
I think that it's a good idea for you to maybe not have sex with somebody just because you like them, or just because you want to.
Yeah. A lot of women tell me that the reason they're doing it because men do it. And they want to they think that men who are intersex are free. So they want to have this freedom to do exactly what men do. And I try to tell them that men who are really into sex are not free men.
I agree.
They are addicted. You know, it's like a drug.
Yeah, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this recently. I feel like every guy that I have known who's had sex with a bunch of girls, there's like an emptiness in it. They're like the most miserable people, miserable men that I know.
It's like a drug, you know, they're addicted to sex.
I'm just gonna apply my Ardell Wispies just to give my eyes a little bit of a pop. See, look at that pop. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. Applying these lashes as close as humanly possible to my lash line, and then I'm not gonna put any eyeliner on top because I want these to look like they're growing out of my face as much as possible, at least. So that glue needs to dry a little bit, so don't judge me for that part. And then yeah, I'm just gonna go over my lip liner again to make them lips nice and even and full.
And speaking of sex, a lot of men are being accused of being molesters, sexual harassers, and all that. What do you think about this attack upon men in that area right now? The Me Too, nutty women running around, and what do you think about all that?
I can't really say on a case-by-case basis because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened.
Right, of course.
But I do think that with everything going on right now about sexual harassment, also calling everything racist. Yeah. I feel like if I'm walking down the street and somebody says, "Hey, sexy," then that's rape.
Right.
I feel like all of those terms that people throw out now just loosely, it kind of cheapens when somebody is actually raped.
I read a report just the other day where President Obama, not President Obama, but President Trump, the Great White Hope. You know I call him the Great White Hope.
Why do you call him that?
Because he's the greatest president that this country has ever experienced.
Oh, okay.
And he's a hope to black people too. One of the secretaries that worked for him, two of his ex-wives accused him of being abusive or something. And the guy had to leave his job. He lost his job. And from what I read, this happened like 15 years ago during the marriage or during the relationship. Do you think that's fair that, because when men and women come together, they're gonna have arguments, they're gonna have fights. That's what human beings do. Even in families and friendships, you're gonna have fights. Do you think a woman should be able to just bring that up and the man loses his job for what happened at home?
It depends on what happened at home, but then at the same time, you're right. I kind of feel like people are gonna fight.
People
are
fight,
gonna, you know, stuff happens in life. And then now I feel like he probably lost his job or got fired, not because whoever fired him genuinely wanted to fire him. Everything's fake right now. Everything's like all for an image.
I noticed that most women, when they get with men, they try to recreate those men in their image. They try to make this guy be the way they want him to be, whatever image they have in their head. And it drives the man nuts. And once she creates him or recreate him, then she now resent him because he's weak. He's allowed that to happen. Why do women, not all, but most, why do they try to recreate men in their image?
I think that what you're saying is sometimes in relationships we try to make men be more soft or more emotional, like that kind of thing.
Emotional.
And I'm guilty of that too.
You are?
Yeah.
And why did you try to do that?
Because I feel like I didn't try. I guess there's certain things that I want, and sometimes I want my fiance to be more sensitive and that kinds of things.
Because you're not unhappy being that way. Why would you want him to be that way?
Or I want him to be understanding.
Rather than showing you how to overcome that.
I want him to be understanding. Because then wouldn't he be he would be trying to make me like him. And is that fair?
Yeah, if he is a solid man, he's at peace, he's not an emotional person, and he can see that you are emotional and it's not making you happy, why not show you how to overcome that so you can have peace?
Because not all emotions are bad. Wouldn't you say that there are some men who are extremely, what would you call it? Not insensitive or extremely cold or extremely not affectionate and that kind of thing?
Well, I'm sure you can find that, but I think men who are not emotional, but have the right kind of love. That's the way, that's what women need, so that they can help the woman overcome that hell. Because when you're an emotional person like that, you're not a happy person, and you need to overcome it. What good would it do you if your fiance becomes sensitive too? It's not going to help you feel better.
Because there's certain moments. Don't you think that men and women balance each other out? Like, we're not the same,
right?
But we're different but equal. And there are good things about a woman, like being emotional or being more sensitive, that balance out everything good about a man, right? No?
No.
Okay, so do you think that men are better than women?
Better?
Yeah.
Not better. I think their roles are different. It's a man's responsibility to be logical, you know, to be the light of his family, to help the wife overcome her fallen state, not get in the hole with her. What? Why you laugh?
Because, okay, so what are good things about the woman in the relationship?
That she loves her husband, she respects him, she has his children for him, and you know, she loved that order, that he is different, so she make sure she carry out his orders for him, and when he get home, report to him. She's like the vice president, and so she is his supporter in that way.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm talking about like emotional things or traits about the woman as an individual that are useful, or that are, you know, good things about a woman as an individual, just like good things as a man as an individual.
The good thing about a woman as an individual is that she loves what's right. She's not trying to be a man. She's not trying to rule over the man. She loves being a woman, and she's not in competition at all with the man. She loves the fact that he's a man and she's a woman, and that complement each other, and that works better. It's like a beautiful flower.
Okay.
You agree?
Sure.
No, you don't. Why don't you agree with that?
Because because I was asking you what good things there are about a woman as an individual, and then you started off saying one trait, and then everything was like, because blah, blah, blah about a man, and then blah, blah, blah about a man.
Oh, I see. I see women who love being women as good women.
Okay.
You know, they're not, because love being a woman and not in competition or jealous of masculinity is a perfect woman to me. You know, she's being who she is. It doesn't mean she doesn't have input and all that, but she's being a woman, she's not in competition. Just like a man is not being a woman, he's being a man. He's not in competition with the woman. And so to me, that everything from that works out very well. Do you agree?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You understand that? You agree with that?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
For the record, you agree. So you believe in God?
Yes.
And you get your values from God?
Yes.
You're a Christian?
Yes.
And what does it mean to be a Christian?
You're a follower of Jesus Christ.
And you follow Jesus?
Yes.
How do you know you follow him?
Oh, I try my best to. I am a sinner, but...
You're a sinner?
Yeah, I'm a sinner.
You still sin as a Christian?
Yeah, it's a struggle.
What kind of sins do you commit? Give me an example. Have you sinned today?
Well, I was listening to Cardi B on the way over here, and I was rapping along, and I feel like I shouldn't listen to music like that.
Yeah, that's a sin.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I have no idea who Cardi B is.
You don't know who Cardi B is?
No, I never. Before now, I never heard the name.
Okay, you should. How do you not know who Cardi B is? She's mainstream now.
Oh, it's a woman?
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking it's a man.
No.
And so she's a rapper?
Yeah, she's a rapper.
And she's a dirty rapper?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think all rap is dirty.
Yeah. And why were you listening and knowing that it was a sin?
Because I struggle.
You struggle?
Yeah.
And my last question, or second to last, you have goals. What are your goals with your career?
The way I kind of work and build my career is I don't know where I'm going, and I never knew that I would be where I am now.
I love that, yeah.
And so I kind of just take every day by day and then see where it goes. So.
That's the perfect way of doing it. I have never had a goal It's just things that tend to unfold by itself. Absolutely. And my final question, did you have fun?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming.
Ooh, baby, baby, I love you. I love you, baby. Baby, I want you. Ooh, baby. Baby, I love you. I love you, baby.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Thanks for watching The Fallen State. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.